Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Block Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Big Con.
Hey!
There he is.
You got a nickname.
I like the emphasis.
You want me to go Big Trev? I can redo it.
Redo it.
All right. Keep it all in.
Yeah, I will.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Block Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast.
Say you're Big Hunt.
Oh, and I'm Big Hunt?
Yeah.
I have to add Big for all three. The Big Three.
The Big Three.
Okay.
The Bit Destroyers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Block Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast, hosted by the Big Three: Big Hunt, Big Trev, and Big Con.
That was awful.
That's cringy.
That was it. Well, we're never gonna do it again, but we at least tested the waters.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah,
now we know we don't want to do that.
Sometimes you have to go too far so you know where the sweet spot is.
Yeah, to know where to come back to.
That's
That
my
was
job.
terrible.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Well, before we get into, we're going to talk through the preserve. We'll do a little Trevor's trivia. We're going to update the manufacturer's cuff, and then we'll cuff. And then we're going to talk about Pick'em versus the 1,000 live audience of Tour Life that happens to be faced by Brody and Yuli.
They're just puppets.
Something tells me that they were going to pick someone who was at a music festival, not at the event. But I don't know. It could be rumors. We'll talk about that later.
Dang.
I do want to quickly
Scandal.
shout out, and obviously if you're listening to this, you're a disc golfer. You're a Frisbee golfer. I get it. So am I.
We all are.
But we went out and shot a little something for our golf channel this morning. That was my journey to breaking 100. And
pretty electric.
all I'm going to say is you're going to enjoy it even if you're a disc golfer. Because it's the most roller coaster of emotions round that you've ever seen. And, you never know what's coming next. That's all I'm going to say.
That's facts.
You will not expect the next shot pretty much at any point in the series. And by the series, I mean this video on Saturday. So
And
check
you're
that
going to
out.
want to check out the Foundation go-kart channel. Silas and I shot a video for this morning. So you never know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
2 truths, 1 lie.
Two truths, one lie. Saturday, 12 p.m. Foundation Golf. You can search Foundation Go-Kart. I don't know if anything will come up there, but feel free to search it. Just don't hold us accountable for whatever pops
It's a
up.
passion project.
Okay. 4-wheel, forehand challenge. Been there, done that. Probably not going back.
What do you do for a living? I do go-kart content.
There's probably someone out there.
I think that sounds less silly than saying disc golf
more
content.
believable than
It
I
sounds
make disc golf
more
content.
believable because people know what it is, but is anybody out there making go-kart content?
Definitely.
I watch people.
We're making disc golf
I watch
content.
people build go-karts.
There's definitely people out there making go-kart
Right,
content.
but if you're into go-karts, you're probably just into racing. You might, but are you making? How many people are out there making go-kart?
Okay, what do you mean by
specific?
go-kart? What do you mean by go-kart?
Their whole channel.
You mean formula
is,
go-kart, like professional go-kart racing, or do you mean building go-karts? Because that's huge.
I think either.
I've watched a lot of videos.
But I
of
don't
people
mean a
building
video.
go-karts
I
from
mean
Harbor
your
Freight
whole
tools.
channel is dedicated to it.
I think there's probably
There's probably a couple, but I'm
Yeah.
saying is disc golf more? Is there more of a disc golf presence than just
I don't know.
specific? Because
I mean, these shopping cart go-kart videos get 300,000 views.
right, but their channel
Left
they're
and
not
right.
go-kart
Watched a lot
channels.
of them.
This is Boosted Boy Kyle, Redbeard's Garage. But yeah, they're not cars and
They're-
camera.
They're car channels.
I think there's a grind hard plumbing code.
So I guess if you're listening, really the lesson of this entire episode is you should get into the go-kart space.
Get into the go-kart space.
Yeah, it's a
$100
niche, it's an untapped niche.
Wide open.
$100 off-road go-kart find. Cars and cameras, there's a lot of go-kart stuff.
Shout out to them.
Maybe. Don't know anything about their channel. But let's get into the
Everyone
preserve,
hate 'em.
what you're actually here for. All right, over on
Preserve
FPO
go-kart
side.
content.
On FPO side, we had Silva Saarinen taking down her first Elite Series event on U.S. soil
Let's
against
go.
the full field. This was
It's exciting.
You knew it was happening at some point soon.
It's exciting.
And she finally did it. Kristen came in second, and Cadence Burge came in third.
I really thought Cadence was gonna win.
I wanted to, let's first talk about Cadence. So Cadence came out the gates good. She actually was 6 under through the front 9, ended up parking the bus there and shot 6 under round 1. I think really the story of Cadence's weekend was she had all the tools. She just was very up and down. There wasn't really one round where she had everything clicking the whole round. Because round 1, she's 6 under through the front 9. And she was playing great. She was actually 7 under through 11, but then just stalled and went 1 over after hole 11 to get to 6 under. Round 2 was kind of the opposite story. She came out the gates, first 3, long par stretch, and then to finish there, and then back 9 still played it a little rough, and then round 3, where she had the lead, I believe she was tied for the lead with Silva going into round 3. She came out the gate slow under that pressure, and then shredded the back 9. So it was everything was, all the pieces were there, but she just never put it all together. But she's 18 years old. I'm pretty sure. I think she just graduated high school. I think she was going to her senior prom a few weeks ago.
Well, didn't she miss prom for an
She might have
event,
missed
wasn't it?
prom for an
I think that
event.
was the whole
It was
story.
something. There was some story around a prom, but basically she put herself into a position to feel the like lead card chased by Kristen and Silva pressure.
Yeah.
At an event at just 18 years old.
How old is Silva though? Before we like play.
Silva's young too. No, I'm not.
But
saying,
she's not. Silva. I feel like Silva looks way younger than she is because I was just like, we can't play the age card super heavy. And then Silva's.
I believe is going to be 22.
Okay. Yeah, 18's young. The Cadence. Yeah. Statistically, Cadence was right there. Just a few missed putts and a few errant shots really that cost her. But
it's just the consistency.
Yeah, talented player. I mean. Tale as old as time. Young FPO player comes into the scene, just lacking some consistency.
Yeah,
but
we've said it about a lot of them.
But only 18, promising, and we've seen some players recently kind of rise above that. But Silva, on the other hand, also kind of burst onto the scene really just last year and
no longer promising.
Delivering.
She's arrived.
Yeah,
now.
Very much delivering.
Yeah, so she started off a little slow, but kicked it into gear in rounds 2 and 3. Firing off 8 and 9 unders.
She's just a great putter, man.
She starts off the round well in the front 9 of the final round, opened up a 2-stroke lead over Kristen. Then Kristen played hole 10 very well all weekend. I think she actually round 1 might have been the only player to birdie it, or she was one of few players to birdie it. Hole 10 was kind of a tough par 4 that finished uphill blind. Really liked the hole design. Uphill blind over it. Players were really struggling, especially in the wind. It seemed to be playing into a headwind, so a lot of players were turning stuff over. And first 2 rounds, she played it very well. Final day, she finally makes the mistake, goes OB, ends up with a bogey on hole 10. And this felt like, okay, this is kind of a decision point where like Silva's either about to pull away or this is going to be the tale as old of time where Kristen steps on the gas and next thing you know, she has the lead and whatever. Yeah. And that started to be what happened. Kristen did the inevitable. Kristen charged. So holes 12 and 13. Silva ends up taking another one on hole 11. I believe Silva was up by 4 through hole 11. 12-13, Kristen takes 2 back. And honestly, Silva hit some clutch par putts.
Yeah.
For it not to be more. Because one, she had I believe it was 13 that she had a birdie putt as well and sailed it. Ended up next to Kristen where Kristen had a tester. Whether Kristen was out or not, it was a little bit iffy on the camera, but Kristen steps up first, banged that putt. And then all pressure was on Silva. I was like, this could be a one-stroke game because this is a very missable putt after you've just seen your competitor make it. You just missed a putt to get to this position. All cards were stacked up of like, she's going to miss this putt. Didn't. Drained it. Then went on to birdie 14, 15, 16 with, it might have been hole 14 she hit a big putt on. Yeah, 14, she hit a 42-footer, which this was a very important 42-footer because Kristen was actually closer than her. She was right at circle's edge. So Silva stepped up and just drained this. It was a drop-off behind the basket, painted the pole. Kristen ends up missing hers, and then Silva birdies the next 2. Kristen matches her, and she had 3 strokes with 2 to play.
Yeah, she closed it out. And, Silva... What's funny, watching them play, like, they really do play a similar... Like, Silva plays Kristen's game. She's not going to overpower you on the course, but she's just better on the putting green. That's just the fact of the matter. It's not like Kristen was bad. I mean, if you really look at it, Kristen her biggest struggles were C1X, but she didn't struggle a ton from anywhere.
She just missed some important moments.
Yeah, it's just really the moments. Whereas Silva Silva is one of the top putters in FPO right now. So I think
she actually led the weekend.
Did she lead strokes gained putting?
So no, Circle 1X putting percentage.
Circle 1X,
Silva, she might have lost.
She was towards the top in strokes.
She led gained putting as well.
I was going to say.
Putting as well. But Circle 1X putting, Silva was 87%. Kristen was 83%.
Right.
So like they both putted.
Exactly.
Silva, they both putted very well. But it was just those are 5 putts. That's a 5-putt difference.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Kristen's putter wasn't atrocious or anything. It's just like when you're not really doing anything flashy throwing the disc, and then you're putting well, but somebody else is doing the same thing and then just putting like exceptional, like they're going to beat you. It's obviously a fine margin, but that's what it takes at the very top of the leaderboard a lot of these tournaments. Yeah,
Kristen actually beat Silva in bogey percentage. They were dead tied in fairway hit percentage. Silva just edged her out in scramble percentage. Like they played very similarly across the board. And you're right. I mean, both last weekend, I believe it was last tournament they both played, and this weekend, it's just felt like Silva out-Kristened Kristen.
I think so.
It's kind of what it feels like, where there were just moments where we've seen it over and over where Kristen does this to FPO competitors, where she starts charging, and instead of them making that par putt, they miss it and take a bogey there, and it's cut to 1. And then on 14, they have the 42-footer that Silva has, and they sail it, and they take a par to Kristen's birdie, or they take a bogey to Kristen's birdie, and next thing you know, Kristen's up, and then Kristen doesn't look back. That's the story that it felt like was about to be told, and Silva was basically like, no, I'm gonna make the putts, right? And because that's where we've just kind of seen this happen over the years, where Kristen just slowly, she doesn't do anything crazy, she doesn't do anything no one else can do, she just doesn't mess up, and that's what it felt like Kristen was trying to do to Silva, and Silva was just like, it's going to take more than that. You're not going to beat me doing that.
It's a real bummer for the rest of the field if there's going to be 2 Kristen-like options.
Yeah, well, this is kind of what we've been waiting for, because historically, there has been the Missy, Evelina, Holland, right? Holland more emerging this year, where if Kristen is slightly off, they beat her.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of been the story over the past few years. But Silva feels like a player where I don't necessarily feel like Kristen made mistakes.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like Kristen was having a crazy off weekend this weekend.
Whoa.
It's just that Silva was able to, in the moments we've seen other people fold, hold her position.
Yeah, you take Silva out of that tournament, Kristen wins comfortably. Because I think if you look at her stat line and what she did out there, it was pretty typical. She didn't make any big mistakes, made plenty of birdies, finished pretty strong. And if you look at the rest of that leaderboard, you see a lot of those names that are talented, just a bit more inconsistent. I mean, Holland and Haley, for example, both threw the disc very well, but just putted very poorly, especially from C1X. I mean, Holland from C1X was awful.
So
a lot of those, it couldn't have been good.
Holland was 62% from C1X.
Yeah. So that's what a lot of the, and then you got Owen who still is putting fine, but not well enough to make up for
Owen
her
was actually off this weekend. I think
her putting was still really good.
72%. For Owen, that's
from
terrible.
what?
Circle 1.
What was her Circle 2 maybe? That was good.
33%.
Okay, so she putted well. I must have seen a lot of the Circle 2 putts.
Well, because I think it was round, actually I can probably tell you, I think she was on feature card. I think we were looking at round 1 when she was on coverage, and it just was like, the commentary actually was like, something's going on for Owen. Like, this is so unlike Owen, because she missed a bunch early and actually started making them later in the round. But a player that I was surprised wasn't in contention more was Missy. I mean, really.
No, she had a really bad last round.
Yeah, not a lot of players were actually in contention.
She was in it going into the final round.
Yeah, after round 2, she was 4 strokes back.
Yeah.
Hey, Hunter, make that stop.
I tried to mute it 4 times. I finally muted it. It's just that there's a touch bar. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always register. So, anyways, Missy had the lead after round 1, which was at 6 under. But then Silva and Kristen basically shot 8 and 9s the last 2 rounds, and that just kind of pulled away, because Missy went 6 under, 1 under. I think she went 1 under again the final round. No, she went even the final round. So she went 6 under, 1 under, even.
In typical pick'em fashion, we watch our players start at the top of the leaderboard and then slowly fall down.
Yeah. Now, one thing to note, because first off, I think we've said it enough, but very impressive win from Silva, and a very expected performance at this point from Silva. It wasn't like a shocking performance. No. She is just that good. So it's very exciting heading into, we're going to have 3 majors over the next, month and a half for FPO. It's
going to be competitive, yeah.
So she's peaking at just the right time. And heading into U.S. Women's, it's important to note that Kristen is dealing with a toe injury.
Yeah,
honestly,
dude.
It looked like a broken toe.
What was that doing on my screen for 2.5 minutes? What in the world, man?
It looked like a broken pinky toe.
Holy smokes. I don't know. They throw up. And it was Kristen's story post, so it's not like, but it's just her toe, and it's all purple and mangled. I guess she said she slipped on the stairs and hit it.
Yeah, and she also was dealing with a sickness. So
that will hurt your disc golf game, a broken toe.
Yeah, honestly, it didn't
gnarly.
look. I mean, the toe looked terrible, but I'm saying her game, it wasn't like she was wincing in pain or changing her form. So it didn't look like it actually affected her.
It was
that
a
much.
little toe, and also because I feel like it depends on.
I don't know if it was a right or left foot.
Yeah.
Because if it's your right foot, I could see that hurting more.
But also, if you're throwing mostly forehands, it probably wouldn't hurt as much on, if it's on your plant, though, on a backhand, that would probably suck.
Yeah.
We'll have to do an experiment.
But
we'll
that's definitely something to keep note of heading into U.S. Women's. Coverage also kept hinting at Holland being injured, although you couldn't quite tell if it was like she was grimacing as a reaction to the shot she threw. They were thinking it might have been a lower back, something going on, but she played fine.
Should be just fine.
Especially the final round. Yeah. And I haven't seen anything anywhere else that she came in 4th. She shot a 7 under final round. I haven't seen anything anywhere else. It's just Terry and Val kept saying that she looked like she was grimacing, and they kept doing these replays.
They know something.
I don't know. So I don't know if there's actually something there, but heading into the next major, I do think it's important to just really keep that in our minds, right? I don't know.
U.S. women's going to be electric.
But yeah, it is very, very exciting how FPO is shaking up, because now every week you have, which Evelina should be returned to the field soon, you have Evelina, if she has an on-putting week, she's dangerous.
I'm done. No, we done with Evelina.
No, she's the current world champ.
We're done with that.
We got to at least get through Worlds where she's not the current world champ.
We're done with Evelina.
What is her? Let's look at what has she done this year.
I'm done with Evelina.
You can be done with her. I don't know if I'm
now
quite
that
done yet.
Now that Silva's here, we're done with Evelina.
Let's look at what Evelina's done this year.
Let's look at it. Take a gander.
Let's keep scrolling.
Yeah, keep scrolling.
2nd, 14th, 9th, 4th, 6th, and then she just hasn't played, so she's fine.
Is that fine?
Yeah. Other than the 14th, everything else is like right up there with like Missy Gannon has a similar stat line. She just played more. She just hasn't been playing.
Why?
I don't know.
So sounds like you don't really have all your facts straight.
Well, Evelina, when she returns, maybe she quit disc golf. You're right.
She might have just quit.
Maybe she Heather Young'd us. When Evelina comes back to disc golf, and then Holland, Kristen, Missy,
is she playing
Silva,
U.S. women's?
That's a good question. Let's look. PGA,
what happened to Evelina?
Well, she went to Europe and just hasn't. Let's see what her next event is. She's playing U.S. Women's, and then she's playing the European Disc Golf Festival, PCS. Wait, what? European Disc Golf Championship and the European Disc Golf Festival? There's too much going on here. Which one's the major? The Disc Golf Festival's the major. The Disc Golf Championship's different.
What the heck is that?
That's just an A tier.
Oh, my.
That's just an A tier. We're going to ignore that one. She is playing U.S. Women's.
A lot of championships.
But you got a lot of people that could win, is basically what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah, it's a smorgasbord.
Holland, Kristen, Missy, Silva.
Paige,
Dark Horse Paige, Evelina. A lot of people that can sneak up in there.
I'm excited. So, I think the Silva-Kristen thing could be a lot of fun. If Silva keeps beating Kristen and, like, she's, like, kind of the new European star, that could be fun. I like to see.
It will be interesting.
I'd like to see it get a little topsy-turvy.
It will be interesting because, like, Kristen, obviously, Silva's first win against her last week.
Yeah.
Kristen runs in, hugs her. It's like an emotional moment of, like, I'm so proud of you. This week, she still was waiting, hugged her, but it was a much quicker hug.
Yeah.
Like, how fast does that turn into, like, I'm so proud of you, this is such a big moment, to, like,
what if,
okay, we're just straight up competitors. There is no, like, I'm not proud of you anymore, you can stop it, it's getting a little annoying.
Well, here's the timeline. Here's the timeline for you. Silva wins the next 3 majors. Is there 3 more for them?
Yeah, U.S. Women's.
The next 3 majors.
Boom,
okay.
Boom, boom.
Silva steals Kristen's Porsche deal. Now she gets the Porsche.
Oh.
Then, end of the year, we hand out our first ever European Women Disc Golfer of the Year grippy, and it goes to Silva. And that's a tight category. Not a lot of contenders in there. So that could be the timeline here.
Things can slip quick. You know, the time atop there's a reason the peak of the mountain is typically the sharpest point.
Mm-hmm.
The journey up to the
I wouldn't even say typically. I would say always.
European women disc golfer that has relations to Silva, because Silver lot.
Nope. Tried too much, Trev.
Somebody, Konner, help me out. Somehow turn Silver and Silva into something we can do here.
I don't get what you're trying to do.
I was trying to make the category as niche as possible, where it's literally just Silva and Kristen, and Silva still wins. I think that's a funny bit.
I don't want to attach my name to whatever's going on over there.
Yeah, that's just your brain. That's your brainchild.
I think it's a funny bit to, like, you're a really good player. It's like,
unless people
it's like
love
when somebody makes the Hall of
helped.
Fame and their dad is also in the Hall of Fame, and it's like you're not even the best baseball player in your own family. It's like you're the best player, but actually the player who's even better than you is, like, in the exact same niche, and I'm obviously stretching it, but whatever.
All right.
I could listen to you talk about this forever.
I don't know if everyone else feels that way, so we're going to move on to MPO. Over in MPO, we had...
Whatever, guys. You just killed my shine.
Gannon Buhr.
It's like Ringo Starr.
We had Gannon Buhr killing the shine of the entire rest of the MPO field. Corey Ellis coming second.
That was stupid.
Carter Aarons and Anthony Barella coming third.
Go Hornets.
This is,
Are they the Hornets?
Stingers up.
I feel like I messed that up once. Are they the...
Charlotte
Emporia State. Konner, can you Google that for us?
The basketball team is the Hornets.
What's Emporia State?
Stingers up. That's all you got to say.
All right,
got
Stingers
you.
up. What's
If you're wondering what on earth Trevor's talking about now, Carter Aarons.
Oh, I don't know,
Now.
like the guy we were talking about.
I was talking about Gannon.
You just mentioned his name.
Yeah, but I mentioned 4 names, and you just said go Hornets.
Well,
How are people going to put any of that
Hornets.
together?
That's how.
Corky the Hornet.
Corky? That's
Corky.
his name? That's it.
See, we never would have gotten there.
Carter Aarons is going to Emporia State for his freshman year of college.
I didn't realize he was still eligible. What are the college rules now? Can you make like 50 grand?
See, that's where I don't know. I was going to bring this up later, but we can talk through it briefly because it's going to be the Gannon Buhr show in a second.
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought it was if you had your tour card.
I'm going to come right out and say it. I don't care. I think everybody should be able to go back and play in college if you have eligibility. It's only going to make it more exciting. Like,
For now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For right now. Like, there's not even drug testing at
What
the
do you mean
professional.
go back?
Like, they have limits on like how much money you made in the pros.
I don't know if it's how much
I
money
think if you're
anymore.
taking a college class, you get to be in there.
Just let them go play college.
technically you're in college.
If they're not good enough to be on tour, and they want to go to college and play, like just let them play. I don't care if they made $10,000 one year on the tour. Let them play.
Okay, if a player earns and
I'm
accepted
with
a
you,
Pro
Trev.
Tour card for 2025, they're not eligible to compete in college disc golf events in 2025 portion of the season.
Why?
Those earned and accepting a disc golf Pro Tour card within the current college disc golf season are not eligible to participate. So if he turns down his tour card for 2026, he's fine.
Right, because nationals will be in 2026.
Yeah.
But it's not like an AM event. It's a whole separate thing. So why does it matter?
Well, it's collegiate.
It's just like Michael Jordan can't go back and play college basketball, or
yeah, I guess
LeBron
that makes
James.
sense.
Like LeBron could go play college football
It's true.
because he never went to college, but he can't go play college basketball. Wouldn't be. It's just not fair.
Yeah, it does.
He's
make
already
sense.
declared.
I understand now. It made a lot of sense in my head until you brought up that analogy, and now it makes sense.
Yeah.
We might have to start.
So Carter Aarons, though,
Is he gonna be the best college player of all time?
all eyes on him. 10-10 rated. Just came in third at a Pro Tour event. If he doesn't win nationals, biggest flop of
I
all
would say
time.
hot seat right now is Carter Aarons. Must win.
Anyways, let's focus in on what the show was this weekend, the Gannon Buhr show. The dude went out 11 under round 1. You were thinking this is going to be pretty competitive. We got some people within a few strokes,
It was
you
pretty
know.
competitive there for a
It's
second.
all right. And then he goes 16 under round 2, and all of a sudden he has a 5-shot lead, and you know it's over.
Yeah.
You just don't realize the dude's got it in him again to go 15 under round 3 and open up to win by 11 strokes
Pretty
Holy
crazy
moly.
in this
in
day
the
and age.
modern day disc golf world.
In my day, that's pretty crazy.
Absolutely terrible week for Corey Ellis to choose to pop off.
Isn't that a bummer?
Terrible week.
Isn't that a bummer?
He
'Cause,
came in
like,
second place, lost by 11. No one even knows it happened.
That's a bummer.
he beat out some really good players that were also having solid weekends. You know, the likes of AB, Calvin.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well,
too bad.
obviously ratings are not perfect, okay?
No,
but
I think they are.
if you take Corey's
Mine
average
is.
rating, it's high enough to have won like 3 or 4 Pro Tour events this year. And he lost by 11.
Yeah,
Like
crazy.
you just chose the wrong week to pop off, Corey. I'm really sorry
How-
for you.
how
But, like,
long
you could have
would you-
could have been the Waco champion or the Open at Austin champion, but instead you're the runner up to one of the most historic performances of all time. Actually, speaking of ratings, this was the highest average rating event in Pro Tour major history.
Wow.
Gannon Buhr's 1088
That doesn't
average.
surprise me. How long would you, if
1088
you're,
average.
That's crazy.
if you're Corey Ellis, like how long are you dragging that one? Because like I think my second ever disc golf tournament when I was like 14, I lost to a guy who would have. I lost to a guy in intermediate that would have won advance. Like he kind of sandbagged. I don't know if it was on purpose, whatever. But like I remember as a 14-year-old, just like that's all I talked about for the next. Like I should have won. But if imagine this, like if you're Corey Ellis, that's got to be eating away at you for a while.
It is a good
like
point.
how was your season this year? Well, I should have had a win, but this guy just had an absolute world beater of a tournament.
It's a good point by Trev. There should be another level.
Another division.
I think Gannon is sandbagging.
Yeah, he might be. Well, I mean that happened
He
to
needs
me.
to play-
I was the
he should be
same
in the
way.
Olympics.
MPOO.
I remember I came in like MA1. I was in like 3rd or 4th, and I remember
Checks
the
out.
guy that won MA1 would have won MPO.
See, he's still talking
And
about
like
it.
that was something that was a talking point. I was like,
Yeah.
well, I would have come top 3, but like 2 of the guys should have been an MPO. You know what I mean?
It hurts.
Because like if the
Sounds
MA1
like a
guy
great
wins
conversation
MPO.
to have at Sheets after the round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you're just all drowning in your sorrows.
You guys think if when Gannon has a round like that, like because we all know how Gannon is after rounds, like how he breaks down what happened to him out there. I bet you even after the 16 under and 15 under, he went back there and talked about what rollaways.
Well, he had a bogey on hole 5 during a 16 under.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I guarantee you he came right back there, but he was like, man, if this didn't happen, like 18
I could have, I should have shot 18 under.
Yeah.
I freaking
the bogey is so funny.
threw my drive off the fairway.
But then,
all the way
he
up
had
high.
the eagle, obviously.
Then eagled 18. But yeah, he had a bogey on 5, eagle on 18. Like, it could have been 18 under if he would have just got his head together on
Dude,
a few holes.
So automatic.
Got his head together.
He had the hot round all 3 rounds. Ricky did tie him for the hot round in
good job,
the
Rick.
final round.
Give
He
him a
also
grippy.
shot a 15
Yeah, we'll give him a
under.
grippy.
Problem was he was only 10 under at that point when Gannon Buhr was 27 under. So
We might have to write.
he
Didn't
also
matter.
gained 0 on the lead.
we might have to
with his
jot
15 under.
This might be the early jot this down for performance of the year. Grippy.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's going to be close. I mean, it's the performance of all time.
Of a century.
Of a century.
Like it's insane. The other thing I looked
Doing
at,
disc golf things of
Write
the
it down,
century is
Trevor.
funny because it hasn't been around for
Yeah.
darn near a century.
the other thing I looked at is he would have won this event by 8 last year,
Make it
and
up,
obviously the course changed. So I looked at it, and they were playing to par, basically the same. Like they were within a stroke of each other, round to
right,
round.
right.
So he basically would have won this event by 8 last year, maybe by 5 if you give that course a stroke harder every round. But
That's bonkers.
like he just absolutely destroyed everything. Like it was crazy. Honestly, I don't even really talk about much else because like when you look at anyone
He kind
else,
of made the rest of the tournament pointless.
it's like AB came in 3rd, but he lost by 14.
Well, what I think what's the most
Like, good
interesting-
job.
What's the most
That's
interesting
it.
thing
Like,
to
good
talk
job.
about?
Great
is-
podium finish. You were 14 away from the lead.
You want to talk about internet, like, they love getting on Gannon these days. I think he's kind of become a target for a lot of people because he is really good and people just don't like him. But a lot of people were replying to the Pro Tour posting about, like, his win and his records and all that and being like, this is why we should never see this course on tour again. Blah, blah, blah. This is blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, guys, like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody else did that. What are
Yeah.
you supposed to do? Build courses just for Gannon?
Yeah.
It's like that's like the way I started talking on debate night about the FPO for a little bit there. Like, do we have to start like specifying these courses to certain players? But and this obviously doesn't happen every other week. But I think it was so funny that people were like, "The course's problem."
Well, if you
it's
take
like, guys, he's the only one that did that. Everybody
you
else
take
averaged
Gannon
like
out-
barely anybody averaged double digits.
Yeah, if you take Gannon out, electric tournament.
Yeah,
Because
leaderboard
then
was
you would have
great.
had like the whole top 10 would have been within striking distance of the lead. Like it would have been
And
everything the preserve typically is.
and I've always
the
said
rest of the event was. It's
Yeah,
just
Gannon ruined this tournament.
Gannon ruined
he
the
did.
tournament.
He kind of did. Honestly, low key, like this was Father's Day weekend. Like I knew I had I could bake on the couch, just lay there like a dead animal and watch this if I wanted to. And then it was just like, well, there's nobody's in it.
Yeah, what's the point? Gannon Buhr.
Gannon
Gannon
my
ruined Father's Day.
Gannon
ruined
ruined
Father's Day.
Gannon Buhr
ruins
ruined
Father's
Father's
Day.
Day.
Gannon is my father.
Gannon,
The,
the whole field celebrated Father's Day. Gannon Buhr, they let him dog walk him.
All right.
Dag on.
Is that what dads do?
If this is
Yeah, you don't.
you? If this is like one of the birdie or die courses though, and like outside of Gannon, everybody else like average just below double digits. That was like in contention. That's not even bad. I think the course held up fine. I think it's interesting that people were so worked up. Now it was a little bit crummy for weather.
Well, I did find it interesting because like Simon went out there and helped Kale redesign the course a little bit, and then apparently the Pro Tour, from what I understand, came in and actually, added some more OB in to Simon's design, and like he wasn't super stoked about that, from what I understand.
Not a big OB guy.
Just from what I've seen on social media. It's not like I didn't talk to Simon about it. I just saw all this on social media.
You consult him from time to time, fair to say.
But I was making sure you knew I didn't consult him on this.
Got him
is what I'm
speed
saying.
dial.
Just saw it on social media.
All right.
And so it is interesting to think like to be honest with you, if the Pro Tour wouldn't have added OB,
What does Gannon do out there?
well, yeah, like I don't know, like people might have a point. The course might just be too soft.
Is Gannon going to be the first disc golfer to shoot a perfect tournament?
Go 3 rounds, 18, 18, 18.
Is he going to go 54?
That
under
would be
par?
amazing.
I don't think so.
What do we think? I mean, this was.
I use 12 strokes off.
Is this the?
No, I don't think anyone will ever do that.
in Pro
Why
Tour
not?
in Pro Tour history. Is 42 for 18 the best ever?
I don't know if I can look that up.
That's what we got to figure out because I want to know. Obviously, 4-round tournament's a different thing, but in these 3-round tournaments where guys can really sprint, what is the most under par? Like I could see Gannon averaging. I could see him averaging 14 under par. What is it? Wait, does that put him what he actually shot? Oh my gosh, that's what he actually shot. Is that what he actually shot?
10, 20, 30. Yeah, 14 under. He averaged
Okay,
14 under.
I could see him averaging 15 under par. Like I could see him like just slightly upping that maybe.
I don't think there's under par. I don't think there's like score. Yeah,
We'd have to go to like. Can you like scroll through and can't you like see the previous champs? But like, I mean, what's an event that would even have somebody close? Oh, didn't Nico win this at 41? Didn't we see that on our sheet?
I don't know, man.
Maybe it was 39. Look up 2020 preserve.
2020 preserve.
I'm pretty sure it's 2020. I want to say this is like 39 or 41.
I think we should start calling Gannon Ganzilla.
I like that.
41.
So
Nico, 41.
Yeah. You guys think Gannon's sick? My boy Nico LaCastro won this event at 41 under.
Your boy?
Just 5 years ago. Just half a decade.
5 years ago in disc golf time is like
Forever.
50
Millennium.
years.
Shot of the century.
41. So yeah, you know, I'll text Edwin stats if he. I don't know if he has a pool he can pull this from.
Well,
of like what is the best under par someone's
it has
ever
to be.
shot.
It has to be a pro tour event though. Like it has to be. It can't be some Joe.
Because all I
Schmo.
can see on here is all-time best round ratings, all-time best event ratings.
Well, because the year at Waco, what did Paul? Like that would be the first one that comes to mind. Is like what did Paul shoot
What was
at Waco?
that year?
2019.
2019 Waco.
No,
Let's see. Paul McBeth won at 43. There you go.
I'm the goat.
Oh
You're the
my
goat.
gosh,
You found
Trevor,
it.
you're
I am the
amazing.
goat king, and so
I'm
that's
gonna start
number
calling
one.
You Trevzilla.
He is the
I'm
one,
the
the
stats
one, the
guy
one.
with
You're
an
the stats
occasionally
guy.
good line.
Yeah, because that's the year that he shot 18 under.
Okay. Well, and then
Well, like Deglo. Let's look up Deglo.
I think Conrad also had like an 18 under somewhere. Or he had a 17 under somewhere.
when year did Paul do Deglo?
Oh,
Greatest round disc golf 2018.
same year.
James Conrad was in my
2018
dream last night.
Discraft. What?
Oh, I know which one
Hey,
you need
Brad.
to look up next.
Great Lakes Open. Let's see what this was.
This is a fun little search we're on right now.
40 under. Paul got
Okay,
it.
look up Jonesboro 2020. Start with 2022. It's whatever year. I think there was a year that Conrad popped, but he didn't win. So like he just popped off.
Calvin
like, one
shot
round.
26 under that year.
What was
So
it?
that can't
Didn't-
be-
no, but like
that can't be it,
Conrad
Trev.
didn't Conrad have a 17 under somewhere? And I feel like it was at Jonesboro, but maybe I'm just wrong.
I don't know,
remember.
man. I don't know.
Look up James Conrad 17 under. We're gonna find this.
Yeah, we'll fight it.
But if he didn't win, I don't think
I don't
he
think
got
he won.
farther.
That's the problem.
It's 2023. Jones.
Hey, I was darn close. It was Jonesboro.
Jonesboro Open 2023.
But I'm pretty sure.
Trevzilla strikes again.
Jonesboro Open 2023.
How did he shoot 17 under and not win? I don't even think he was in contention.
He can't. Calvin got to 31
What
under.
did he take?
James Conrad shot 26 under
And he
total
shot
for the tournament. He
17
went
under.
56, 47, 63.
Rock on, James. All right.
That's another fun stat. What is the most drastic difference between two rounds?
Hey,
What
Kyle
was-
Klein
what was
DNF,
Rick-
by the way.
He's sick. He had the flu.
I took him in my top three.
What was
That sucks
Rick?
for you.
What was Rick at? What were his other rounds at?
Rick ended up at 25 under.
What are you talking
So
about?
how were his other rounds?
Round two, which would be the round that mattered for what
no,
the
you
stat we're
said,
talking.
you said like the worst.
Yeah, I'm saying round two, which would be the
Oh.
one he went 6 under, so it's 9-stroke difference.
Mm,
Not that big of a deal.
not
So
big.
Paul has the record.
Paul has the record from what we can see.
From what
43
we- from what we
under.
found.
Gannon, there's your new goal. Get better than 43
I
under.
think.
at the event.
I honestly, if you asked him, I feel like he probably knew about that. I think he probably wants it. We're gonna need to make that record.
we need to
more,
make that record more known.
more popular. To
Let
like
us know
chase
if
after.
you can if you can find a pro tour event where someone a 3-round pro tour event where someone has gone more than 43 under par.
I've no
Let us
way
know.
I've ever seen a 44 next to a name. Here's the thing. So whenever somebody gets close,
That was so good.
from now
No
on,
way I've ever seen a 45.
that
next
would
to
be
a
just
name.
unnatural. From now on, whenever somebody like pops off like round one and round
It-
two,
it might have been like
we got to put them on official 44 watch.
NT at Memorial could be something.
But that's not a pro tour hunt.
It would count national tour.
Yeah, I'd count it. Barely. I don't even know if I would count it. We'll say the modern era. That's another funny one to throw around in disc golf. The modern
What year
era.
was it? 2015 that Paul
It's like
shot the like crazy.
2016 on
Yeah, it's like ever since the Thunderbird.
post Thunderbird.
No, this is when they did 4 rounds. They did 4 rounds out here in Memorial. So that doesn't count. Doesn't even count.
TB.
I was doing the same thing.
PTB.
BTB.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up the talk on the preserve. Pretty much the Gannon show and then an electric FPO finals there. But let's jump into Trevor's trivia right after these messages.
Right after these massages.
LOL.
All right.
Messages. I'm making messages.
No.
All I can think of is LOL.
Gotcha.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do today, gentlemen.
Is this one fun?
They're all fun. What do you mean? It's
probably
trivia.
not.
I know. I'm just asking if this one is.
They're
Like,
all fun.
what if, I didn't know if he was going to make the.
What
first,
are you insinuating?
I didn't know if he was going to make the first unfun.
I don't like the
one.
way he's talking to you.
I didn't know if he was going to make the first unfun Trevor's trivia. So I said.
Why would he?
There's been some unfun
I don't know.
ones.
I just like to ask. Is this one fun?
You can slap him.
Today we're playing
you
a
can't.
game. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? You're not.
Are ya?
You're
Something like,
never gonna get
something
Silas
like
Selects.
first European woman.
You're never gonna get
something-
Silas Selects.
That's true.
Never.
I might not, Trev. That's good.
Probably not.
Today we're gonna
Trev
play a
Zero
game
strikes
of.
again.
Today we're playing a game of tag. Okay. This is how this game works. One of you will name an MPO professional player, and then the other person, your job is to get as close to tagging them as possible by naming somebody you think is as close to them in the standings as possible. The amount of distance you're apart counts against you. So you're obviously looking for names that are a little more niche. Obviously, you don't want to name somebody that's probably in the top 10. Yeah, they just have to
This game's
be.
impossible.
No, it's not. I mean, it's, you know, you might have to make a bad pick, but there's 150 players to choose from. So Konner, you can go first. Or actually, you know what? Whoever comes to their player they want to pick first. can
I
go
got mine.
first.
Okay.
Did you already have yours, Con?
No, it's okay.
Okay, go ahead,
It's
hon.
okay, yeah.
Jeremy Colling.
We'll do 3 each, by the way.
Jeremy Colling.
Okay.
Bradley Williams.
Oh.
That's. I mean, you probably already lost. Jeremy Cohen. It's not
Hey,
really your
Con,
fault.
get wrecked.
I
I
don't
don't
answer
really-
the question. No, not fun.
Jeremy Cohen is in 147th place.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
I didn't realize that either. Honestly, like your guess did not seem that crazy.
You should have went Justin
Really?
Rozak.
Because you really made it seem like it was crazy.
because
You hurt
I
my
was
feelings.
because I was looking at it.
Oh.
But I was just saying like that's insane. Like he's only played like a few events and he's earned like no points. Bradley Williams, I'm guessing will be in the top 20 or 30, 24th.
So you're
Bradley Williams is in the
120.
top 20.
So that was a practice round.
No, what?
Bradley Williams in the top 20
25.
since
Top
when?
25. Top 25.
He's
playing
top
solid
25
this season.
since
What do you mean?
when?
He's been a top.
He's been-
He's been like a
he's
playoff
a
player
solid
for
guy.
years. Anywho.
All right, Con.
Never
All right,
heard-
you
never hear
serve
anybody
back
talk
to
about
Hunt
him.
now.
All right. Eric Oakley.
147 minus 24, 123 points.
Where is he at?
Europe.
Oh.
All right, Con, back to you. Well, it can't. I just got to give someone. I got to get someone outside the top like
You
50.
took Oakles.
He took Eric Oakley.
Ogles.
I'm going to take. See, Eric Oakley's
Whatever
played.
the answer is inside of yourself, Trevor.
Eric Oakley.
You actually can climb back into
Hunter,
this.
Eric
you have
Oakley has
everything.
played-
You have everything you need inside of you.
Thank you. I
To
needed
find
that.
this answer.
He has played enough tournaments that makes it hard for me because there's some players like a Maori Villman who doesn't have many points.
This guy's just saying names and say that
Yeah,
he knows
you just
names,
made
man.
up a name.
Yeah,
Well, I'm saying like, but he has some pro tour. He has a pro tour win.
Okay.
So it's like he's got a lot of points from that, but he doesn't have a lot of points because he's not playing many
that's
events.
a great pick from UConn.
So
You're gonna get back
I'm going
into
to tell you
this.
the way I'm going to play this game is Hunter's going to say a name. I'm going to think, what disc golfer can I think of?
I don't
I'm
really
gonna
think your
go-
first pick was that bad. You got unlucky there.
I'm gonna go with.
What is it? I didn't realize he was top 24.
Well, it was more so Big Germ. Like I would have thought at most he was like in like 50th or 60th.
That's what I was thinking. He was
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
I'll just go Maori Villman.
Maori.
That's not a real person. Eric Oakley is in 47th. Maori Villman is in 57th.
Okay, I was gonna say when you said
Dang, that was
47th,
pretty
I was like,
good.
I think I did.
That
pretty
was
solid
really
there.
good from you, Hunt. Serve back to Con. Your second serve.
Okay,
Maori. Yeah, because we all knew who Maori
15
is.
love.
I've got to dig into Connor's brain here to give him some
Not
names.
much in there for you to get into.
You stop that.
Well, whenever I'm telling you, when it comes to games, he's gonna say a name, and I'm gonna think of what disc golfer can I think of. There's not gonna be as much. Maori Villman.
Yes, A.
take
Niemanen.
that.
Yes, A. Niemanen.
Oh, easy.
He made up another name.
Albert Tom.
Ooh,
That's
that might not
actually
be that bad.
pretty good.
I think it is.
Niemanen comes in at 27th.
Ooh, I kind of like.
Dark Horse Albert.
I'm
Albert
gonna
and the
give him
Chipmunks.
32.
49th. It's not atrocious.
Bums.
But 22 more points. You really need Hunter to
Bums.
like get annihilated on one of these. All right, you serve back to Hunt.
Oh, my turn.
Just dig deep, dig really deep
I'm
here.
gonna dig so deep
Just
here.
you got to go with the most just niche, random player you can.
there's not gonna be a player that like I know.
Yeah, there is. Sure. Like think of
Okay.
guys that we've met. Maybe that'll help.
Noah Five-ish.
Ooh, I don't know if
I
he's on
don't
the
think
list.
he's in the
He's
top
might not be-
150.
He's not on the list. You got to get
He's not on
somebody
the
else.
list.
Good
I was
idea
trying to
though.
think- You said niche.
No, that
Niche?
that was the right. That
I've
was
seen
the
his
right
name on a
line
Devil
of
Hawk.
thought. That was the right line of thinking. Try again.
Cream dog.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Chandler
Good pick.
Kramer?
Good pick.
Thank you,
I don't know
Trevor.
where
Is
he
he on
is.
the list?
He is on the list.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great pick. You've got him in a
Thanks.
bind
He's
here.
terrified.
This is tough.
How many more people do I have to think of?
Just one.
Okay, I can figure that out.
My tough part here.
Start thinking. Start thinking.
I think Chandler Kramer is gonna be pretty low. No
Cream
offense
dog.
to the Cream Dog, but I think he's pretty
Dyed
low.
his beard
He's a
blue.
Problem is, I have to
beard.
find someone on the list. If
You
I name
sure
someone
do.
off the list, what happens?
You get to go.
You're
again.
dead.
Justin Rozak.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Justin is on the list. Okay. Kramer comes in at 81st.
Oh, that's not good for me.
Rozak 130. It's a 49-point swing. So,
Ooh.
Con, if you can make a good guess here on Hunter's serve and then pick another one that stumps him, you have a chance. You could give it. You get back
Okay,
into
I'll
it.
try. I'll try as hard as I can.
Yeah,
as
try as hard as you
absolutely
can.
hard as I can.
He's zeroing. Careful.
I'll go ahead and give you a little hint. I can't think of any more people.
Keep thinking, man.
Do I stay Europe?
I don't really know that it matters. I think Con's just gonna swing for the fences.
Yeah, but I want to. If I go in a certain area, I think is my best bet.
Okay. I don't know what that means. Big hunt, big three,
Big three.
big hunt, big three.
You know, I'm gonna try something.
Oh.
I'm gonna try a little something.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Sullivan Tipton.
Yessie
dog.
Heinonen.
Okay.
Is that a person?
Yeah, isn't that
Heinonen? Yessie Niemanen?
Yeah, Heinonen,
that's it.
He already
I
used
used him.
him.
But
Wait,
I think
you did?
Heinonen, Yona Heinonen is a person.
Yeah, right, but that's a.
You wanna go
but
Yona
Heinonen is
Heinonen?
not a person.
Yeah,
Yona
yeah.
Heinonen.
I think I knew the
You're gonna
word.
let him walk you into that one?
Well, just
Hey, he
because I
said
knew,
his name. I was
I
trying
knew
to
the
figure out
last. I knew the last name Heinonen existed. I just didn't know what the first name was. I just combined another one.
I love that you went for a European name. Soli comes in at 14th.
Yeah.
Yona Heinonen.
Oh, frick.
Well, what if he's not even on the list? He is 65th.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and a great pick to like serve.
I was
down.
trying to think of someone that I knew was having a good season that Konner probably didn't know was having a
You're
good
a
season.
bully. Does that make
Yeah,
you
I've
feel
never
good?
heard of Sully Tipton before.
Yeah, see?
It
does make me feel
okay.
good.
So Con's accumulated about
I'm playing the game well. Am I not
190
supposed to feel
points.
pride if I play a game well?
If you serve him like Gannon and he guesses like last place, you might get back into this.
Okay. Scott Stokely.
I don't think he's on the
He's not
list. I
on
don't think he's
the
even
list.
played a pro tour
he
event
is.
this year.
Oh man,
Love that.
I had so much money on him.
I love the way you lie.
I'll go with.
Yeah, he's not on there. Brody the Dark Horse Smith.
I'm gonna go with Ricky Wysocki.
Oh, nice.
Gannon Buhr.
Ah,
2 points.
Man, dang it! I thought that was the one that you were gonna think of.
Good job, guys.
There was just really no point in me existing
That's
anymore
not true. You would have
during that last round.
If you would have, yeah. I mean, if you would have not got so unlucky on that first guess, you could have been in that.
I don't know how much was on luck
I
versus
don't
just
think it
like.
was very much.
Big
Big
Germ.
Germ.
You know, you never would have guessed he was 147.
I thought he was around 100th. That's where I thought he was.
Well,
He's
still,
been
that's-
injured.
That's still a 50 difference.
I
That's
just was
huge.
trying. I was thinking of a name that I knew hadn't played a ton, and when he had played, had not played well because
That
he'd
makes
been
sense.
injured.
I got tricked by the fact that I was like, yeah, Big Germ's still around.
Yeah,
That was kind of the only thing going on in my mind.
exactly. Cornered you.
He freaking cornered.
And I was
you.
like, I think what it was is I was like, oh, Bradley Williams, Big Germ, they're from the same era. But Bradley Williams is still cranking out rounds.
Yeah, he's still good. All right, Manufacturers
Baby
Cup
Destroyer.
update. So after this weekend, Discmania actually led this weekend with 50 points, almost double second place Discraft. Discraft still has a significant lead on them, though I believe their lead's at 180 some points. One thing that's tough for Discraft, Corey Ellis came in second place, not on their roster,
Poor
obviously, because
Discraft.
how we do it is we take the top six MPO players, top 2 FPO players on each team's roster. That way, if you have a 25-player roster, you don't just get a giant advantage. Hasn't mattered. Discraft's still dominating, but that's why Corey Ellis doesn't score many points. But Discmania was able to earn some points with Gannon, Silas Schultz,
shout out to
and
Silas Schultz.
Cadence Burge. And then Discraft still got points with Anthony Barella, Ricky Wysocki, and Holland Handley. and Missy Gannon. But winning obviously is big time. The largest jump this week actually came from open bag players who finished third with 28.5 points, jumping from 10th place to 8th place, passing Castaplace and Dynamic. The open bag players listed are Noah Miensma.
Noah Miensma?
Ooh.
How did I miss that?
I was gonna.
He
choose
popped
him
off
for
the
one of
final
my
round.
people.
That's probably how you. He wasn't like in the mix. He just came out of nowhere.
Like, what the heck?
Carter Aarons, which I believe is correct that he's open bag.
Yeah, I think so. He was with Lone Star.
And then Haley King, who came in 6th. So I believe that's also correct. She's open bag.
I thought
Shout
Noah
out
Miensma
individuality.
Was DGA.
What?
I thought Noah Miensma was DGA.
Right.
He was, but I don't think he is anymore.
I don't think so anymore.
He has a
Edwin,
disc.
in
That was
Edwin's
with DGA.
defense, you have
Did.
to.
I don't know that he does
I don't think
this
he does
year.
anymore.
He had that graffiti one, didn't he?
He had the
He had
Quake
another one as
back in
well.
the day, but I don't think he does anymore.
Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, last year. But a lot of changes in
They're
here.
on 1-year deals, brother.
Yeah, if you're a player on that
Listen,
level,
man.
I don't feel like we still have one in the.
we probably do.
Well, no.
That doesn't mean it's from this
Yeah,
year.
that's true.
You know, to celebrate Noah Miensma's hot round, if there's still one,
Yeah,
in the
he
store
doesn't
right
have
now,
it in
it's
his.
50% off.
If he doesn't have it in his. He doesn't have it in his description, like in his bio.
So they broke up. Did he unfollow?
So I don't know. I'll look at his most recent throw, and no big DGA on the back of his throw. So I think we're good.
On the back of his throw.
Good to call on the back of his shirt. Good to call him open bag. Noah Miensma. So no, they
Heard it here
actually open
first.
bag actually jumps into 8th place. They passed Dynamic and Castaplace.
That
for the
is
season.
crazy.
So there you have it. Little Manufacturers Cup update. And then also we have a little Pick'em update. We lost 4 points to Tour Life this week. We had the same MPO picks. We chose to go with Holland and Missy and Haley King, whereas they went with Kristen and Katrina Allen.
No, that's
they
not,
didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Their show did.
Yeah.
The Tour Life did.
They went with Paige Pierce.
We should. You know what we need to do, Trev? We need to Photoshop this graphic to have, because right now it just has Brody and Yuli's face on it, and that's not a good representation.
Thousands of people on it.
We need to have Brody, Yuli, Edwin, Gary, PDGA Mike, and then have AI simulate 1,000 people. Because from what I understand, they locked in their picks with Paige Pierce, who was at Bonnaroo this weekend. Sorry, it got rained out, Paige.
Did it really?
It did. Yeah.
I'm devastated.
Yeah.
I'm devastated.
So she
They
was at
didn't even get
Bonnaroo
to
this
see Uncle
weekend,
Cracker.
and apparently 10 minutes went by before the live chat was able to get their attention and say, hey, Paige isn't going to be there.
That's
Switch it up. Because
bogus.
for them to pick Paige, I think they weren't picking Kristen.
no, like they don't know what it's like to get off the podcast and then see Paul Ulibarri can't even use his right shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, they
or
just would get it-
post
they
a
would-
podcast where you go through this whole long thing, and then everyone's in the comments like, you didn't see Sullivan Tipton's Reddit post?
Oh, you don't follow Holland Hanley on CVS, the social media app, to see that she's sick?
Yeah, like, but how are we supposed to beat anyone? Like, and then Brody has the audacity in the group chat to send. I didn't even respond.
He just said we can't lose.
He said, "LOL, we can't lose." Nah, dip, Brody.
How
if
could
we had
you?
if we had 1,500 people working together with our brains, we'd be right in there with you. I'm honestly surprised we're only down 70 points. I'm proud of us.
Maybe-
All you
One
have
heck
is
of an effort.
All you have is Tubby Redhead on the other side going, we should call him Ganzilla.
No, because we're making our picks on preview show. It's just Trev and I.
Oh wait, true. I forgot.
Yeah, you're not
I can't
even-
even. I'm not
it's
even
just
paying
Trev
attention
and
enough to
I.
know when you're choosing them.
Should we do a thought experiment and just next week do our show a day early and just let the comments pick for us? Just to prove a point, just be like, we could have done this all along.
But they might turn on us. There might.
That's true. They
If we
could
go
be
top
inside-
like, if we go top
be an
liked
inside
comment,
job.
top liked comment is our pick'em.
It's gonna be
that's
Brody Smith.
dangerous.
Yeah, the dark horse.
That's way too dangerous.
Yeah.
Because
We're
if
just- you know what, Hunter? I got an idea.
Chat,
We're just gonna keep taking the high road.
no, we are. We're gonna play the game the right way.
We're gonna lose
And
the
complain about it the
old-fashioned
whole
way.
time.
and complain about it. We're gonna
Yes.
make sure everyone knows we're on the high road.
Yeah.
We're gonna be yelling down, "Hey, down there! We could do that if we wanted.
That's the only
We
way
don't.
You get
We're
to the
choosing
high
to be up
road.
here."
You get on the highest road by talking
Because what they
about
have the advantage of
Very
is
true.
like if
Narrows the path.
live chat throws out Paige Pierce isn't going to be there, you can be like, what? Let me research and check. Oh, Paige isn't going to be there. They're right. And you can verify. We can't verify nothing. We're just using the good old fashioned way, the way
And
pick'em's supposed to be
and people
played.
yell at us when we try to fact check. Like,
Yeah.
how did you not know that already?
Yeah. We're doing pick 'em the way it's supposed to be done.
I'm gonna get
I
Chat
can't tell who
GPT
you guys are
implanted
mad
into my
at.
brain. Society.
I'm more mad at Tour Life as a whole.
I just don't want our listeners to feel like you're mad at them.
I'm not mad at them. I'm mad
mad
at the
that they're-
smudgeness from Tour
Yes.
Life that they are up by 72 points and they think they're doing something
Agree.
when all they're doing is reading the chat board.
Yeah. They go.
Like what?
Who should we take?
It's like if we went to
Ooh, I'm stewing.
if we went to Hold My Bag and looked at the leaderboard and we're like, that number one
Hey.
fantasy player, his team looks
You wanna-
pretty good. I'm gonna choose them. No, that would be good.
Low key, you should check that because Silas Schultz popped off and you picked him. You should
Oh, I should see how I did on Hold My Bag.
You should see how far up you did because I did like not that great, but because I thought I was the one that picked him. And I'm like, no, you did for your thing.
Let's see how I did. Let's see how I did.
Gosh, I'm nervous.
But I picked Ricky over Gannon.
Oh, well, that was
So
super
that's
waste of
not,
time.
yeah.
Never
I don't
mind.
think
Probably
it's,
took last.
it's probably not even worth checking this because Gannon Buhr you get birdie points on Hold My Bag. So Gannon Buhr got
It's
it.
just main event. Yeah,
I came in 3,000th overall.
okay, so you and I
Yeah,
are like the same.
I
Oh, you
popped
also
up.
took Eagle in tier 2.
I didn't take Silas Schultz. What are you even talking about? I didn't even take Silas.
Did
I took
did
Ricky.
anybody talk about him in
Ricky,
any capacity?
Eagle, Ezra, Paul Kranz, and Paul Euler.
So maybe I imagined
Trevzilla
that.
strikes again.
Maybe.
I think I imagined that I did, and
that's
I
probably
didn't.
the live chat pick Silas Schultz.
That's probably right.
Yeah, the live chat pick Silas Schultz.
What if life had a live
So you
chat?
know what? We're gonna try our
wouldn't mess
best
up.
because what I will say is if we somehow close this gap on Tour Life and we beat not just Paul and Yuli, but Edwin, Gary, PDJ, Mike, and their army of 1,000 listeners, then I mean,
At what point does a gap become unclosable?
if I think we do this, if we close the gap, if we beat Tour Life, they have to close their show. They have to shut it down. Can't go live anymore.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I like that. I like that.
Would you want that to happen?
Yes. Tour life sucks. I like that, but I'm trying to think like, so what is like if we dominated them a week? Are we taking like 20 points on them?
Well, we would need them to basically get 0 points, and we could take like 50 points, 40 or 50. But most likely a
But, like-
dominant week's like 20 to 30 points.
So like we just need like a couple.
We need a
dominant
couple
weeks,
dominant
and we're
weeks.
right back into it.
Yeah.
I'm still hopeful, but I'm just
this week, if we would have picked Gannon,
yeah.
we could have done something. If we would have went Kristen and Gannon, the typical,
Yeah.
we would have gained on them, probably like by 18 to 20
We
points.
should have stuck to it.
But we went Ricky, AB, Simon, and so did they. I'm also proud about that we chose the same MPO picks as the 1,000 live chat.
That's right.
Just 2 men in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Two
had enough
boys
brain
even.
power. 2 young men.
Yeah, we know ball.
Strapping looking, barely can grow facial hair. Had enough brain power to pick the same MPO picks as 1,000 deep, diehard disc golf fan base live chat.
You guys.
That's why you choose to listen to Grip
Sounds
Lock.
like another Wednesday to me, Hunt.
Yeah, just
Big
sounds like
Hunt.
another. Just we wake up and tinkle excellence. I was gonna say the full thing of that, but it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I appreciate that about you.
Let's update our top 10.
Censored.
Let's update our top 10 here. Gannon Buhr, I feel like we should almost create a like separate tier.
All right.
He has 100 and some point lead, and we're like not even halfway into the season.
But let's not though.
Okay, well he did just win by
Might
11.
go to his head.
All right,
Stay humble, stay hungry.
all right. We'll leave Gannon just in
We
one.
got majors coming up.
I don't hate having a ghost 2, and it's like when someone's earned to be the second best in the world, they can fill it. But right now, just Gannon. But we'll leave it here.
How many points does Kyle Klein lose for having the flu
0. It's better to not play than to play and lose by 11
in Europe?
in Europe. Gannon 1,
Unless you're
AB2.
hot.
That stays. Gannon 1, AB2. I don't think we can change that at all. Ricky 3. He came in 8th place this weekend. How are we feeling about that? The problem is Kyle Klein's
Yeah.
currently in 4th,
I was saying,
and
it's really
he
bad.
DNF'd because he had the flu.
It's really about who's beneath.
So
Is anybody beneath him?
Isaac Robinson is who's next down. He didn't play this weekend, so it's better to not play. Nicolas Antela also not present this weekend.
Yeah, I say there wasn't a
Below
lot
him.
because Paul wasn't present.
Simon Lizolt
Not a lot of players there.
came in 12th, so that doesn't exactly help anyone's case. Eagle McMahon, let's see how he did. He came in 33rd.
Okay.
He might have to be bumped out.
Maybe he gets
Ezra
bumped
Robinson, how did Ezra
I think
do? He
did
didn't
okay.
play either.
Oh, he didn't play.
So
I must
Corey Ellis
I
would
was
probably
thinking
just
eight or
jump
more.
in because he came in 2nd. Just give him some type of
What are
flower.
you talking about? Like, what is his season?
He's went 19th, 7th, 2nd.
Oh yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
trending up.
Yeah.
Like
Throw
let's
him
get
in.
let's throw Eagle out
throw him out.
and let's put Corey into 10th right now.
I think we could just leave it like that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, it's tough because so many players didn't play.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our top 10 didn't play this weekend.
I think we shouldn't even be looking at this right now.
We'll just leave them there.
Leave it.
We
But
do need to FPO. We got to
Silva
update.
won.
I'm going to be straight with you. I think Silva 1, Kristen 2, Holland 3.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to be straight with you. No
Did we
offense
put-
to Holland.
Did we put
but
Paige Bonnaroo? That would have been funnier last week.
Yeah.
We missed out on that.
So Paige is in 5th right now. Honestly, I think we can leave it there.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause she
think
didn't
there's-
play.
Not a lot needs to be done this week.
I do think Silva and Kristen both need to jump Holland because at this point, Kristen's went first, second, first, second. And yes, I understand that Holland's been only top 5, but only top 2 is more impressive than only top 5. And then what's also more impressive to me is back-to-back wins for Silva. So I think that right now,
It's all adding up for me.
Silva's number 1 player in the world, Kristen's number 2, Holland's number 3, Missy's number 4, and we got Paige Pierce number 5. And I think that I like that. I think that makes sense.
Can you explain to me who Rebecca Dawn is? I wasn't listening to
Dawn?
commentary, but
She's a Canadian, right?
yeah, well, I wasn't listening to commentary, but all of a sudden, towards the end of the round, they showed every single one of her shots.
I think she was popping off at the end.
Was it that she had a hot round going? Because I was like I said, didn't have commentary on. I was with my family, and I just kept seeing them.
She ended up shooting 7 under for the final round.
Okay, so not really, because it was probably around the middle to end of a round they started showing it. I thought I was missing a storyline. I legitimately thought to myself, what did I miss here?
Valerie Mandujano, maybe she was just on Val's card.
I don't remember seeing.
They showed all of Valerie Mandujano's shots. She shot 12 under. That was all they were showing down the stretch. It was you'd see Silva and Kristen shot, and they would jump over to Val.
I guess I did see a few.
It was
I
here's another one of Val
I
shots,
think
another one of Val shots.
what happens when I'm watching coverage around family, it's my brain is locking on when I see the players that are in contention. So I think that's probably where
Valerie Mandujano, because she was 12 under, and she missed. I forget what hole. She missed one of the holes that was actually kind of easy.
I wish Val would be competitive more often.
Yeah, so she shot 12 under, and I think that Rebecca Dawn might have just been on her card, so it might have been a situation of
just felt like she was getting
she was
singled
also
out.
playing.
I don't know.
I didn't get
Maybe
that feeling.
probably-
Valerie Mandujano was definitely getting singled
Surely
out.
they just
they were talking about Val.
They must have just
it was
had a
probably
camera.
just they had a camera with Val's card,
Right.
and so you were seeing Rebecca Dawn shots, and you didn't recognize her, so it stuck out in your head.
I just kept looking when it was
But they
Rebecca
were-
Dawn instead of Val, who was shredding the course.
but they
and
were
being
actually
"What's going
showing
on?"
Valerie Mandujano because they showed a lot of her shots.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
was
she shot 12
mistiming
under.
it.
She shot a great round. So, all right, it's time for Silas Selects. Konner, you go first. Still trying to get it.
I'm gonna try and look into my mind's eye, which I usually don't do, but
I'm not even going to try this
I
week.
might get a nosebleed.
I'm going to say a disc, but I'm not going to give any effort.
Saying a disc is an effort.
No, it's not. This is what I'm doing right now is an effort.
That's an effort. I'm just going to say the first one that comes to my mind whenever it's my turn. But it's Connor's turn first here. I'm just speaking to fill the void.
I think that,
I'm just trying to dig
you know
so
what,
deep for this
makes
one. I'm
sense,
scared
'cause
I'm not going to be the same afterwards.
I think I want
I'm scared I'm not going to be the same.
a DGA.
I have my pick. I have a headache and my nose is probably bleeding.
Typhoon.
Typhoon from Con. I'm going to go with the Beast from Innova.
Give me the Scorpius from Millennium.
Dang, I think there's one in the U section.
Probably one on the shelves too.
I don't think so.
We have Millennium discs.
Ooh.
Dang,
Stall.
I was so close.
I saw pearly champ looking disc, and I thought the rim was kind of. I was like, I did it. I just did it.
What did you even guess?
Beast.
Good guess. What did you guess? I was too busy in my mind's
He
eye.
went Typhoon from
I went
DGA.
DGA Typhoon.
That's the new one, yeah?
It's
think
Katrina
so.
Allen's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that from you. Whatever.
Silas,
Sally,
that's
bro.
enough.
Sick, dude. You got right. You got us, man. There was
You
one.
got right.
Yeah, right?
Diet right.
Diet, right? All right, ladies and gents, that wraps up this show. We'll
We
talk to
filmed
you
this
again
at
soon.
midnight.